You keep cutting my live feeds, but like I said, this is about the Democratic Party and Scott Shellenberger. This is about racism and corruption in the courts. Y'all y'all talked about the delegate in Annapolis about the N-word. Well, Shellenberger used the N-word. He has practices. He has racial practices. He is racially biased in this court. And I want to hold this in your ethics committee. Last week, I gave Councilman Quirk a letter from the Department of Justice to the Department of Justice. I also gave him a copy of the letter from Johnny Oleski asking the Department of Justice to investigate Scott Shellenberger and my illegal incarceration. 1402 Lochner. On February the 7th, 2008, I was kidnapped because of this letter. Head States Attorney, Baltimore County. That was Scott Shellenberger. This is a written response to the letter received 12/15/2008. States Attorney Adam Lippy, white collar crime. I'm a victim and I denied the due process and equal protections under the law. Jake Davis. All right. Employment was terminated. 11/1/07. Your investigators neglect to check the deeper than Jake and Mr. Hammond's records. All right. This goes throughout to this what this was all about. It was about an audit. All right. Like I said, I was incarcerated. That's Mayor Moxley. All right. I was incarcerated and I was making toilets for a long time. This shows you the ethics violations because this is what he charged me with. Before you charged me with terrorism, after I wrote you this letter, you charged me with this crime right here. That's the case number. That's against you. You feel me? For my property on Falls Road. Like I said, this movie and documentary was about Adam Lippy. It was about Scott Shellenberger. It was about the Democratic Party and racism in the party. It was about a Gov.O'Malley zero tolerance to stop and frisk. Here go the paperwork. Y'all can go see all the paperwork. All right? It's right there. Ain't nobody denying nothing that I'm saying. Dear Mr. Davis, please allow 30 to 60 days. All right, please allow 30 to 60 days. You didn't do nothing. I gave this information to Kamenetz. I gave it to Judge Turnbull. I gave it to Shellenberger. I gave it to Bernstein. I gave it to all of y'all because it was about your prison industry. It was about the racism in Shellenberger's office. So we're going to talk about this if you like it or not. Christopher Williams was there when I came to Annapolis. Karen York was there when I came to Annapolis. You feel me? We talking about Maryland's prison industry. And if you look at the blacks getting incarcerated and the Hispanics getting incarcerated in Baltimore County, if you look at Scott Shellenberger's record, the Department of Justice is going to look at it too. Like I said, I was making a movie about your prison industry. And ain't nothing that you can do about it. Right here. That's unjust enrichment. All right. That's the Department of Justice. Dwayne Gerald Davis. All right. Birthplace, Waukegan, Illinois. Right here. Dwayne G. Davis, 1402 Lochner. All right. That's my phone number. See the date? 2009. I gave it to Barbara Mikulski. I gave it to Scott Shellenberger. I gave it to Hardin. I gave it to the Maryland delegations. I gave it to Mayor Pugh. Senator Pugh. It was a documentary about your prison industry. Dutch Rupersberger, Lisa Madigan, Senator Cardin, Senator Durbins. That's my case number in Illinois. OAIG. All right? That's my case number. And these are the supporters of Shorty. And Shellenberger got this too. All right? We are requesting all state and local officials in the city of Zion, Illinois to conduct, all right? We're also imploring all the state officials in the state of Maryland to assist Shorty in this effort to achieve complete justice. These are supporters of Shorty. These are white people supporting a black man's issue. Because we was talking about Martin Luther King. We was talking about mass incarceration in your prison industry. The movie's called Racism. And I'm trying to, all right? The movie's called Racism. And these are the people that got the letter. Richard Sher, Governor O'Malley, Governor Quinn, Department of Parole and Probation, the Attorney General, Illinois Department of You feel me? These are the people that got this. And this was written in 2009, long before I got locked up. That's my address, 1402 Lockman. Secrets must not block justice. And you're not going to block mine. It was about the prison industry in Baltimore City and Baltimore County. It was about zero tolerance and stop and frisk. It was about Governor O'Malley's machine. And he's part of that machine. So when I come testify in Annapolis, anything that Scott Shellenberger testifies for in 2019 is going to be tarnished. Until the Department of Justice investigates my case, Scott Shellenberger should be disbarred.
I'm not going to shake the hand with the man that tried to send me to jail for 20 years while he lied to the public.
He presented false evidence to the grand jury. He lied to the grand jury. You feel me? He destroyed evidence for another case. You want to talk about racism? You want to talk about the N-word? Well, that's the one. You feel me? And he knew about it. The Baltimore Sun knew about it. Jane Miller knew about it. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about ethics in Baltimore County. Councilman Quirk, you got this. I gave it to you in front of everybody. So we want to settle this in front of everybody. That's your problem in Baltimore County. That's your new face of Jim Crow.